Oh, that's the wrong one. That's too quiet. I meant to play a Chuck Berry thing, for God's sake. You can't blame these labelling. It's more like it. Can't believe the labels in these things.
Out of all the reindeers, you know you're the mastermind. Run, run, Rudolph. Randolph ain't too far behind. Run, run, Rudolph. Santa's gotta make it to town. Santa, make him hurry. Tell him he can take the freeway down. Run, run, Rudolph, 'cause I'm reeling like a merry-go-round. Said Santa to a boy child, what have you been longing for? All I want for Christmas is a rock and roll electric guitar. And then away went Rudolph, whizzing like a shooting star. Run, run, Rudolph, Santa wants to make it in town. Santa, make him hurry, tell him he can take the freeway down. Run, run, Rudolph, reeling like a merry-go-round. Run, run, Rudolph, Santa's gotta make it to town. Santa, make him hurry, tell him he can take the freeway down. Run, run, Rudolph, I'm reeling like a merry-go-round. Said Santa to a girl child, what would please you most to get? A little baby doll that can cry, sleep, drink, and wet. And then away went Rudolph, whizzing like a saber jet. Run, run, Rudolph, Santa's gotta make it to town. Santa, make him hurry, tell him he can take the freeway down. Run, run, Rudolph, I'm reeling like a merry-go-round.
That's Chuck Berry, of course, 15 years old, I think he was. And that track is called Run, Rudolph, Run, getting into the Christmas spirit. Gerald Michael Anderson here. I'll be here until 12 o'clock or until we're thrown out. Whichever comes first. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme. You can still say hello to people you want to because, you know, after all, tomorrow's Christmas Eve. The number to ring is 08459 555 678. The email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And the text messaging service is 81771. Some lovely music for you today, some lovely live music after the 11 o'clock news. Margaret Keys is going to come in and sing for us. Wonderful. But first of all, people are contacting me. Please, I've just heard Patsy Hart singing on Hugo's Outside broadcast. Yes, I heard a bit of that yesterday. Hugo was down in the butter crane. Butter crane, the butter crane! My jaw nearly hit the floor when he obviously had forgotten the words. But rather than la his way through the verses, he made up lyrics and slurred them in a very toe-curlingly unprofessional fashion. Well, after all, it is country and western. What do you expect? Ironically, the song he was singing, Do What You Do Well. He obviously was not heeding his own advice. I'm just getting this off my chest. You're too much of a gentleman to read this out, aren't you? No, I'm not. Hugo's great at the outside broadcasts. You know, you need a bit of enthusiasm every now and again. Please give a big Merry Christmas shout all the way from Canada to Ian, Sally and sons Neil and Stuart Barr from Lisburn. And also to the people on my favourite morning show, Emma, Gerry, Sean and Geordie. You lot hurt my stomach. Do you know how hard it is to laugh at 5:30 in the morning when you have a mouthful of porridge? That's a man who resides in Oakville, Ontario, Bill Barr. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And something apropos, or germane, to what we were talking about yesterday. I was talking about Italian families in Gerry Stoke, Londonderry. So a lady called Linda, she contacts me. She said, Dear Gerry, I'm so pleased to hear you talk about the delights of Italian ice cream as you remembered it this morning on your show. My mother is Yolanda Battisti and is one of only 3 Battistis still alive. That's one of the families who came to Gerry Stoke, Londonderry many years ago. She will be 89 in June next year. As you named the other Italian families, the Fiorentinis, the Anarellis, the Cassonis, all relations of mine, I thought how sad that these original Italian families will soon be no more. Well, yeah, that's true, isn't it? Because a lot of them have moved out, and when people get a bit older, sometimes they go back to Italy, and then the younger people kind of forget, you know. And you were right. They came from a small village called Bassiano, not far from Rome. And funnily enough, I saw a photograph of Bassiano, and it's a walled city on top of a hill. And I said to myself, how dissimilar to Derry, Stoke Londonderry is that? A small village called Bassiano, not far from Rome, and near the town of Latina in the Lazio region. Yes, we used to drive to Bassiano every summer for our holidays when we were children. Such memories. Isn't that wonderful? You mentioned you had done a programme on Derry Italians some time ago. Yes, I did, for BBC Radio Foyle. Could I get a copy of that? I wonder, could I? I'll try and get it, actually. I will do. Thank you again, Gerry, for some memories shared. Enjoy the programme. Thank you. And she says, Buon Natale e buono anno, which means, I think, Happy Christmas and a very peaceful New Year, said he, bluffing the pronunciation. I listen to your show whenever I can, says Brian. I wanted to send you a quick message for two reasons, really. The first is to thank you for doing what you do on the radio. The second is to check if you're aware of Paul Kelly's How to Make Gravy. This is not often heard on the radio. It's a good example of what else is out there. I wouldn't be surprised if you've heard it before, because it was released around about the end of the 90s. I can only send you this link. If the person reading this is not Gerry, listen. People assume that I don't get these, you know, because who else is going to read them? I'm the only one here. Anyway, right. There's a programme coming up on the 2nd of January. It's about a fellow called Kieran Gribben. You may know him. He called himself Joe Echo. He's been in here a number of times. He's a singer-songwriter from Castle Dawson. Well, he was on his own. He was doing quite well. He did the music for the film Killing Bono and all kinds of stuff. But he joined In Excess, the band, one of the biggest bands in the world, as the lead singer. And we were doing a little documentary about him. I went to Paris weekend before last weekend, to see him doing one of his first European gigs. The programme is on Tuesday night. But this is him. This has not been released now. This is a very interesting... Hold on, have I got this here? Oh, it's working. This hasn't been released yet. This is the first recording he ever made with the In Excess, and I'm sure it'll be released later. It's one of his own songs. This is Kieran Gribben from Castle Dawson with In Excess. How good is this? It's live, by the way. Sorry, this is the live version.
Jordan's field at
That's Kieran Gribben and In Excess. That was recorded, I think, in Amsterdam, and that's going to be, that is not the record, of course, that's the live version. He's going to record that. And they're going to do an album, which will be out later on this year. It'll be interesting. I hope we wish him all the best. Right. Christmas is an odd time for people who live here, but whose hearts are elsewhere. There are many immigrants here, especially from Poland, Latvia, etc. Evelyn O'Donnell is my favourite Polish person. Good morning, Evelyn.
Good morning, Gerry. I love when you say that.
I know. You're married to Derry man Sean O'Donnell,
Yes.
and you can be found teaching at St Colum's College in Derry, and you also lecture at Queen's.
Yes, I started recently, yes.
And you're a champion of the rights of East European migrants. You help them in all kinds of ways, court cases, that kind of thing, their welfare.
I just do my teaching bit, but if it helps, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
I feel it helps sometimes.
Tell me this now, because there's no money about and everybody's getting it tight. Are people going home again?
Well, I was supposed to go, but I'm not going because prices are crazy at the moment. But I'm not complaining. It's okay. I treat it here like my second home. But for some people, it might be quite tough.
Well, do you know of people from Poland, for instance, or
I
Latvia
know
going home?
Many people that can't go. Yes.
What kind of percentage are people who came here and who went home again?
I would say there is loads of new people coming recently, but like I mentioned before, I noticed the tendency that people with more qualifications, people coming here to get very good jobs, and people who got disappointed and were trying very, very hard, they actually coming back to Poland because, Euro and everything is coming up and football is on demand and
of course,
loads of
it's not the World Cup,
European Championship,
year,
So there is a big demand for all builders and engineers, electricians. So people like that are coming back, but then families break up because usually if you have a child here, you stay anyway because
that's right.
You can't just withdraw a child from education. So I'm still very, very busy, and we actually have loads of new children coming from Poland and teenagers actually that are coming at the age of 16, which is, we have a boy that just started in St. Colum's College at the age of 15. He's really stressed. It's crazy.
He can't speak English at all?
No, but he has me. So I'm going to help him, We just have to teach him English very, very fast.
Well, you and I first met when we did a programme about immigrants, and I was amazed at the standard of education that particularly a lot of Polish people have. But it doesn't really matter when they get here because, you're incredibly qualified, aren't you?
Well, yeah. Well, you see, people in Poland do everything to get education. They would sacrifice everything. My parents sacrificed their life to give me education, even though it's for free. But then you have to pay all extras, accommodation and everything when you study at public university.
And it's much more, education is much more rigorous.
Yes, and it's
Poland.
7 years to get, for me to get master's degree, 5 years. But that's not enough when you want to add another language or you want to be really qualified, at your field. You have to do postgraduate studies. So I studied 7 years.
And how many languages do you speak?
3.
Well, you speak English, Polish?
And Russian. But with languages that I speak, I understand very well Lithuanian, Ukraine, Czech people, because some of the Eastern European languages they sound like funny Polish connected with Russian for me. So because I know both, I can put it all together.
All the Slav languages have something in common. And you're going to study Chinese as well?
Well, I would love to, yes. I'm waiting actually to do it through the school training, which will be great because, yourself, it's very expensive to take up another language. But because I consider myself now a linguist, I think, hopefully maybe Mr. McGinty
Who's he?
in St. Colum's. That's my favorite principal of my favorite school. If he's listening, he's probably crying from laughter now. But who knows? Maybe he will sponsor my Chinese course next year. That's my Christmas present that I would like.
But tell me this: how are people treated? What do Polish people? They talk to you, obviously. What do they think of us? Are we nice to them?
You know what? It's amazing because, obviously through Polish Abroad organization that I'm very active with and through Polish school, I meet Polish people every day, loads of them. And they all have the same feeling like I had for the first time 5 years ago in Dublin. You come to Ireland and you feel like at home. I don't know what it is. It's the friendliness of people and them being so open. And then when I started teaching, especially when I started university work, I looked deeper into the topic. And I'm quite fascinated now because what I discovered over last year, teaching Irish teachers Polish and talking to them, there is so many similarities. I don't know what happened in the past. We met somewhere centuries ago. See the words like kość, rower, śnieg in Polish, they are exactly the same in Irish. Really? And I was told that by Irish teachers. I don't speak Irish. But then we went deeper into the topic, and I was asked to design a course that we're going to start next month, culture course called Present in Poland at Queen's.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at that and I started reading more. See all our most popular traditions and the deepest traditions that Polish people celebrate that are very much like through centuries celebrated. They are all having the same roots like Irish traditions.
So we're all Polish.
We are all very emotional, very romantic people. I think Irish and Polish people are very family orientated, romantic, very much into having fun and very close. And once they create friendship, it lasts forever. It's
And drink lots of vodka.
yeah. Well, yeah. I didn't want to mention that, but yes, we like our drink and you like your drink. Yeah.
Well, how different is Christmas in Poland than here? Do you find is it underplayed here, or do you have a more elaborate Christmas in Poland? What do you
It's
do?
very traditional. It's 24th is the main day, and we have our 12 dishes, and we have our presents
12
on that
dishes,
night.
yeah.
Yes, meat is not allowed to eat, and it's very religious, but not in a way that we kind of pray, but midnight mass is the highlight of the night, and you take your lanterns and you go for midnight mass, and everybody sings carols, and then we come back, and then we have our drink, and we sit until 4:00 in the morning and chat and sing, and but it's all about food. Like my mom, if I was coming to Poland now, she would be cooking like for last 10 days, because
Last 10 days?
She has to have this 12 dishes. She has to have, it's like
12 real
huge.
dishes, not just little finger
no,
things.
real dishes, including different cakes, but you eat a tiny bit of, you like nibble all night. You sit at the table all night and nibble. You don't have like 12-course meal in 3 hours.
You don't get a feed as we get.
No.
Here's
you
your
have
dinner.
a bit of some. No.
I love that. It's like the Chinese do that too. Little dishes,
Yes.
tiny things all the time. I prefer that.
Yeah, you can sit all night and eat, and then Christmas Day is very important, but we don't have any special meal or anything. You just have a nice meal, but it can be anything. It can be turkey, it can be pork, it can be anything. But 24th is beautiful. You wait for first star to appear, and then your daddy goes and looks, oh, the star is there, so we can unpack your present, and and then...
We don't do that. We just get a 40-ouncer and tie one on.
I find it, no, I can't. You see, I still want my present on 24th. I always say to Sean, I want my present on 24th because this is my name day as well. So I actually have to get 2 presents because we celebrate name days as well. That's one of the things,
Well, listen, tell me, before you go any further now, we're running out of time a wee bit. Tell me about the courses you do in Queen's. Can anybody enroll, or tell me about that?
Yes. The good thing that happened, there is a big interest over the last 2 years about learning Polish because obviously there is so many Polish people coming here, and we have free courses at Queen's. I was offered last year to run the course called Let's Talk Polish.
Yes.
And it was very successful. We just finished. I had lovely 15 students, most of them teachers to be, that just want to be able to understand children once they start teaching, but also real linguists and people who are planning to establish a business abroad or bring Eastern European workers here, doctors from hospitals around, that want to understand patients.
Just basic understanding.
Yes. So I finished
or
that.
how the people think.
Yeah.
It's not just language. It's about an
No,
attitude,
it's not
isn't
just
it?
language, because that's what I wanted to mention, because I don't think people are aware. If you go on Queen's University College website, on Stranmillis College website, you will see in the section Lifelong Learning 3 courses that we offer now from, I think, the end of January they start. One is Let's Talk Polish for people who don't even have any idea of the language. We start from the basic things, but it's amazing how quickly people progress. And then we have Business Polish, especially for people who really are planning to to work with Polish people or work in Polish schools
or do business in Poland,
or do business in Poland, or become interpreters, which is very good, But also we have this course that I'm really enthusiastic about called Present in Poland, which is culture and traditions of Poland. And the way I designed that, I joined, I want to show how much the same we are, how much our traditions connect, and they come from the same pagan times, and how they evolve over the times, and that really we think we're so different and we are so
the
much
Celtic
the
nations,
same.
I mean, nobody's quite sure, but they did come from all parts of Europe, so who knows? And how did people find out about those courses? What's the website?
They go on www.strand.ac.uk. Strand.ac.uk.
Right, okay.
That's Stranmillis University College, and there is lifelong learning section, and you can see the program for winter spring 2012.
Okay, that's Stranmillis in Queens.
Yeah, in the section languages you can see all the courses, and the enrollment forms are available now at the college, so they can be emailed to them. So hopefully I get loads of students.
Okay, you're not going to get away that easily.
Oh, I know.
I
What
want
do
you
you
to
want?
sing. I want you to sing a little Polish Christmas carol.
I think I should,
Go ahead.
for all the Polish people and all Irish
Go ahead.
friends. Okay. Lulajże Jezuniu, moja perełko, lulaj ulubione me pieścidełko. Lulajże Jezuniu, lulaj, że lulaj, a ty go, matulu, z płaczu utulaj. It's for little Jesus to put him to sleep. That's what we sing at the end of midnight mass.
Okay, well, happy Evelyn O'Donnell, thank you very much, and happy Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Gerry.
Thank
you.
It was Christmas Eve, babe, and in the drunk tank, an old man said to me, "One see another one." And then he sang a song, the rare old Mountain Dew. I turned my face away and dreamed about you. Got on a lucky one, came in 1801. I got a feeling this year's for me and you. So happy Christmas, I love you, baby. I can see a better time when all our dreams come true.
They've got cars, big as bars, they've got rivers of gold, but the wind blows right through you, it's no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome.
You're pretty queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they held out for more. Sinatra was swinging, all the drunks they were singing. We kissed on the corner and danced to the night. And the boys of the NYPD choir were singing Galway Bay. And the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day. You're an old slut on junk lying there almost dead on that drip on that bed.
You scumbag, you maggot, you cheap, lousy faggot. Happy Christmas, you're ours. Thank God it's our last.
And the boys of the NYPD choir were singing Galway Bay. And the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. Could have been someone.
Well, so could anyone. You took my dreams from me when I first found you.
I kept them with me, babe. I put them with my own. Can't make it all alone. I built my dreams around you. And the boys in the NYPD choir were singing Galway Bay. And the bells were ringing out for Christmas Day.
You know, I have no idea who that is. I really don't know. Mr. McDowell sent that to me. Thank you very much, sir. And could you tell me? It's Matthew and somebody. I don't know who it is, but it's very, very good, I think. Someone on the line here. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Brian. How are you? Good morning.
Hello, Gerry. How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. Can I help you at all?
Gerry, I'd just like to put out a plea on your show, please, if you don't mind.
No problem. Go ahead.
It's for two ladies who are looking for a lift to Belfast on Boxing morning. They have to go to work and they have to be in Belfast for about 10 o'clock. And I just wonder, anybody travelling from either Omagh or Enniskillen to Belfast on Boxing morning.
On Boxing morning, yeah, okay. They want...
There's no public transport, so this is why I'm putting out the plea on your show.
Oh, we can't have that. Two ladies need a lift to Belfast from either Enniskillen or Omagh. Well, which would be the... Excuse me, which would be the handiest?
Well, it doesn't really matter because they can meet up. With anybody travelling from Enniskillen, either.
So one of the ladies is from Enniskillen, the other's from Omagh. Is that it?
Yes.
So either whoever scores the lift, the other one has to show up.
Yes, they can see really well. They can meet up anywhere at Ballygolly roundabout.
Look, don't say the Ballygolly roundabout. That's no place to stand. I remember meeting somebody at the Ballygolly roundabout. Don't do it. As you stand there, it's like being in the North Pole. Anyway, you need to be in They need to be in Belfast about 10 o'clock on Boxing morning.
Yes.
So anybody leaving about kind of 8, half 8, that kind of thing.
In around that time, either from Enniskillen or Omagh.
Okay, well, I can't imagine that we wouldn't be successful in that. I would imagine there's bound to be somebody going to Belfast and Boxing, or maybe going up to hospital to visit somebody or something like that.
Be listening in and will be able to contact us.
Do they need a lift back?
No.
They'd be okay going back.
Yeah,
all right, so they can't get transport that early.
It's just we can't get. There's no transport on Boxing Day. So they're staying in Belfast that night, but it's just what do you do for that morning?
Okay, then you're breaking up just a wee bit there, Brian, but we've got your message okay. Anybody going to Belfast, Boxing morning, round about half 8, something like that, to be in Belfast around 10 o'clock from either Enniskillen or Omagh, be doing two ladies a great favour. And I'm sure they'd appreciate it greatly. Okay, Brian?
Well,
thank you.
So much, and
okay.
Happy Christmas to you.
Happy Christmas to you. Bye. Oh, we're only going to get a wee bit of this.
What your friends tell me is true. You already know I fancy you. And if what your friends tell me is true, I don't have a chance with you. And yeah, whatever. I know you could do so much better than me. And you're a girl and I'll never get you, 'cause basically you're just too fit for me. And when the sun comes up to start my day, I get so scared and I don't know what to say. I'm listening to Elton John. It's a little bit funny. You're always in my mind, in your song. And when the sun comes up and I open my eyes, you're the one I think of, the girl that makes me smile.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
BBC News at 11 o'clock with Sabrina Sweeney. The French government says it will pay for corrective surgery for tens of thousands of French women who were fitted with poor quality breast implants. The government here says the 40,000 women in the UK with the implants have no need to worry about any risk to their health. From Paris, our correspondent Christian Fraser reports.
It's a preventative measure and not of an urgent nature, says the French health minister, but the new advice of his government is that women who had these implants fitted should now have them removed. There have been 8 cases of cancer in France in women who received these implants, but the health ministry says as yet there is no definitive link proven. In Britain, 40,000 women paid for these implants. They can't sue the company, PIP. It was liquidated last year when the gels were first removed. But the clinics that fitted them and the British supplier of implants to these clinics could be liable.
A number of bombs have gone off in the Syrian capital Damascus. State media says several civilians have been killed. Our Middle East correspondent Jim Muir reports from Beirut.
The explosions came on the morning after an advanced team of Arab League observers arrived in Damascus to begin preparations for their monitoring mission. The regime insists that the trouble in the country is caused by armed terrorists. That point is clearly underlined by the explosions. Activists, who insist their movement is peaceful, will undoubtedly regard the timing as deeply suspicious. They're likely to accuse the regime of staging the attacks.
The state funeral is taking place in Prague of the former Czech president Václav Havel, who died on Sunday. In recent days, tens of thousands have paid their respects to the leader of the 1989 Velvet Revolution that peacefully ended communist rule in what was then Czechoslovakia. Among those attending are David Cameron and the US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Now, with all the sports news, here's Denise Watson.
Darren Clarke has come second to cyclist Mark Cavendish for the BBC Sports Personality of the Year title. Cavendish won with nearly 50% of the public vote, but fellow Ulster golfer Rory McIlroy left empty-handed. Manchester United defender Phil Jones has been told he's not suffered a serious facial injury and could play in the Boxing Day game against Wigan. He was caught by an elbow from Clint Dempsey during the opening minutes of Wednesday's 5-0 victory at Fulham. United feared Jones had broken his jaw or fractured a cheekbone, but x-rays have shown no major damage. John Terry made a superb goal line clearance in injury time to ensure Chelsea drew 1-1 with Spurs in the Premier League last night. And locally, the Steel and Sons Cup final takes place tomorrow with Larne taking on Bangor at Seaview. Kick-off time is 10:45.
Now the weather forecast with Cecilia Daly.
Skies will continue to brighten from the west, revealing some sunshine in most places today. There'll be a scattering of showers, initially in the west, but developing further east too. It's a cooler day with temperatures no higher than 6 or 7 degrees, and showers may become wintry over the hills later. There'll also be a chilly westerly wind. Tonight, showers will ease away and temperatures will drop to just 2 Celsius.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
We've had reports that a lorry is partially blocking the A4 Dungannon road between Mahery and Portadown, so please approach with care and be prepared for some delays. Christmas holiday timetables for public transport are in place from tomorrow up to and including the 2nd of January. Full details are available online at translink.co.uk, or you can call the contact centre on 90666630. And at Belfast International Airport, the 25 to 4 EasyJet flight from Malaga has been delayed until 4:25. Aileen Moyna reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
Thank you. Welcome back. Wendy is here. Hello, Wendy. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
I like your glasses.
Those are my paparazzi specs. They're to keep the marauding hordes off me. It's a pity this is on the radio, really, isn't it?
I've never seen glasses like that.
No.
It's a black rectangle in front of your face. Can you see anything out of that?
Not a lot, no. I'll take them off. Anyway, on the programme today, we hear how Downpatrick's business community's been a good Samaritan this Christmas after there was no room at the inn for a Latvian family there.
Really? I was just talking to a Polish lady there about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not that kind of thing, but about immigrants, yeah.
It's difficult, isn't it? We'll also be asking, is there an empty seat? Speaking of immigrants, so this is emigrants. Is there an empty seat at your Christmas table? Has emigration meant that some of your nearest and dearest aren't going to be home this Christmas?
Yeah.
No money for Christmas. There's some postal workers here who are not feeling the Christmas cheer. Okay. We'll have Paula McIntyre on everything but the turkey.
All right.
Decided we've had enough of the turkey stuff. Mm-hmm. And by popular request, and entirely in the first place, thanks to Gerard Michael Anderson, we're effing again.
Oh, effing and bucking.
The very one.
Listen, I hope we haven't got a children's choir on.
No, we haven't.
I can't. Not
be doing with that.
That's it. I've had enough. I've had enough. Wendy, happy Christmas to you.
And to you too.
Thank you.
Have a lovely one.
Keep your glasses on.
As the winter winds
glitter London with lonely hearts. Oh, the warmth in your eyes swept me into your arms. Was it love or fear of the cold that led us through the night? For every kiss your beauty trumped my doubt. And my hand told my heart, let love grow. But my heart told my hand, this time no, this time no. We'll be washed and buried one day, my God. And the time we were given will be left for the world. The flesh that lived and loved will be eaten by flame. So let the memories be good for those who stay. Hey, and my hand told my heart, let love grow. But my heart told my hand, this time no, yes, my heart told my hand, this time no, this time no. Oh, the shame that sent me off from the God that I once loved was the same that sent me into your arms. Oh, and pestilence is one when you are lost and I am gone. And no hope will overcome. But if your stripe strikes at your sleep, remember spring swamp snow for leaves. You'll be happy and wholesome again when the city clears and sun ascends. And my hand told my heart, let love grow. But my heart told my hand, this time no. And my hand told my heart, let love grow. But my heart told my hand, this time no, this time no.
That was Mumford and Sons, a song called Winter Winds. This is Mark Cimino. I've been asked to play this again. It's called Very Lucky Man.
I come from an average town where the trees grow strong and the dirt lays brown, where your eyes light up when the sun goes down. If you cruise all night and you don't break down, you can find yourself on some solid ground. When the blues kick in and the deal goes down, I found I am a very lucky man. And I dance with the fire below, traded down wind trouble for a bright rainbow. Had miles of mercy dropped upon my soul, with tears dripping on my own payload. But like a rolling river, I was bound to flow through the rank and file of my own episode. You see, I am a very lucky man. I am a very lucky man. I'm just a little piece of somebody's master plan, and it is a privilege walked on the far left side of the highway ditch. And the great divide is a short career, but it's justified. It's got lots of perks and it's double wide. And you can trust your steps when you start to slide. You can fall and never have to run and hide. You see, I am a very lucky man. I am a very lucky man. I'm just a little piece of somebody's master plan. And it is a privilege not to know where I stand. I am a very lucky man. I've sat in the highest court with a 3-ring circus and a plastic fork, sticking witchcraft people as a last resort. Been a little detrimental to my own report. When the jury handed me a verdict slot, said we find you guilty for the things you're not. Ripped each metal off my poor chest and only got silence as my protest. Well, the judge said to kill me at his request. I said I'm ready to die, but I must confess that I am a very lucky man. I am a very lucky man. I'm just a little piece of somebody's master plan. And it is a privilege to be blessed or be damned. I am a very lucky man. I am a very lucky man. I am a very lucky man.
Mark Cimino, lucky man, from an album called Rank and File. Seamus Heaney, of course, donated his notebooks and papers to posterity the other day, and doesn't stop writing to me. He said, "Dear Mr. Anderson, may I take this opportunity to wish you a felicitatious and indeed enjoyable Yuletide, and as a matter of fact, a suitably prosperous new year. But if I apprehend that Gleip, who is mocking the award-winning poems what I rate, he shall indeed receive what I do believe is known in the country areas as a dig in the bake." Another. Oh, please play a song by Tony Bennett or something Christmassy for my husband Michael and all the staff of Ben Madigan Nursing Home. Ben Madigan Nursing Home? That I've looked after him for 4 years. That's from Catherine Boyle. Certainly I will play something in a moment. Can you please play Moriarty? No, there's no need for that. For Carmel. No, please play Moriarty for Carmel, who doesn't believe such a song exists. Well, I wouldn't have believed it either if I hadn't heard it. An epic Christmas poem has been penned. It was Christmas Day in the workhouse, where Gerry and Sean reside. They laboured away on the treadmill, both starving, like rats at Yuletide. They were old, they were cold, they were filthy. Sean's eyebrow hung down to his chin. It would be 30 years come next Tuesday since Lifebuoy had lathered his skin. Poor Gerry, thin as a whippet, his dead eyes sunk in his head. His no nose either. He would sell his soul for a gruel in a bowl and a chunk of blue mildewed stale bread. In stepped Stephen Nolan, the beadle, so ugly, so cruel, so stout. A bunch of large keys hung down to his knees, at least I think they were. Both legs were swollen with gout. He glared at poor Sean with derision. At Gerry he looked at with disdain. He had 2 piggy eyes like one may see in styes. He liked to inflict hurt and pain. He gloated, "You're in my clutches. You'll pay for your jokes and your mirth." You would giggle with glee, "Ha ha, hee hee," at my size, my weight, my girth. "Not me, sir," cried Sean the toady. "It was Gerry who called you obese. Sir, I'll be your lackey, I will run for your baccy. Oh, sir, let Sean live in peace." "Yes, I called you a blimp. yelled out Gerry, unafraid. I will call you a blimp to your face. You eat crisps by the score, then you call out for more, fat boy, and never say grace. I will flay you alive, cried out Tubby. I will nail your hide to my front door. I'll make you eat creepy crawlies to pay for your follies. I will laugh when you beg, scream and roar. Not so fast, said a voice from the shadows. The name's Cricket, but Jimmy will do. Come here, there's more. Shut that door. I'm a fairy all dressed up in blue. Let them two boys go, said the fairy. Or Tubby, I'll pulverise you. A fairy trumps a big glutton full of roast mutton, especially a fairy like me dressed in blue. The fairy took the two boys to a chip shop. Gerry ordered Sean to eat his fill, but like so often before, Gerry slipped out the door, leaving Coyle to settle the bill. Here's a song I played yesterday. People want to hear it again, and so do I. As Christy Moore once memorably said, this is Mary Chafin Carpenter if your trousers are too tight. Christmas time in the city.
Well, I walked to town in the pouring rain, paid my fare and I rode that train to the station under the avenue, hit the air at the stroke of noon. At the cross streets where I staked my claim, I played in tune with the winter rain, collecting dimes and dollar bills while the noisy traffic played the fills. And it's Christmas time in the city when the air is filled with cheer, and the storefronts look this pretty only once a year. Well, the vendors huddled and the taxis honked as I played for change beneath a neon clock that was dressed up looking like a Christmas tree, blinking down on that busy street. When the crowd thinned out and the rain had quit and my fingers felt cold and stiff, I took their money and I closed my case and I headed back towards home again. And it's Christmas time in the city when the air is filled with cheer, and the storefronts look this pretty only once a year. As I walked back to the subway stairs, I had $28 and change for fare. It was an old bag lady with an outstretched hand and a small Salvation Army band, playing Angels We Have Heard on High, the first Noel, no holy night. I folded up $1 bill and I tucked it down into the till. And it's Christmas time in the city when the air is filled with cheer, and the storefronts look this pretty only once a year. And it's Christmas time in the city when the air is filled with cheer, and the storefronts look this pretty only once a year. Christmas time in the city.
That's a lovely song. That's Mary Chapin Carpenter, Christmas Time in the City. Margaret Keys is here. Good morning, Margaret.
Good morning. Gerry.
Looking lovely and stunning as usual.
Thank you very much.
I hate you. Look at the state of me. I'm sitting here like the ugly duckling.
Well,
anyway.
Radio deserves the glamour, I think.
All right then. Listen, I never know how to describe you. You're not an opera singer. You're not a light opera singer. But I think you're an opera singer, but you're not. What do you describe yourself as?
Well, I've never performed in opera, but I'm classically trained.
Yeah.
So I do kind of a lot of concert singing and classical singing, and I do musicals and things like that. So I'm a classical artist.
But you've got an opera.
Yeah,
voice.
well, I could go down the opera route, but at the moment I'm in the sort of classical crossover genre of music.
Well, were you never interested in going down that straight operatic route?
Not at the moment. I mean, I'm very happy being me as an artist, because when you're in opera you're always playing a role or something. So I just kind of like to get to know my audience, and like I did a concert there in the Bernavon there on Saturday, and it was just lovely to be able to talk to the audience, whereas if you're in a sort of an opera you can't come out of role or come out of character. So I just like to sort of be me at the moment and be myself as an artist.
Now, you're from Derry, of course.
Yeah.
And I often talk about people from Derry. People often say that people in Derry are particularly talented. And one of the reasons they say they're particularly talented is because of that kind of Donegal input. And I look at you now. I mean, I have to describe you. You have lovely dark hair, alabaster skin. You're the typical Donegal. Have you any people from Donegal?
Well, we had a house in Lisfanna. Does that count?
Did you have a granny from Donegal or something like that? Because you're almost kind of an archetypal Donegal person.
Well, I look very, very like my grandmother, my mum's side. She's dark hair and very pale skin and sort of rosy cheeks. So I suppose I take that from her.
But what the people do say is that, there is a tradition in Derry, but I don't think the people in Derry are any more talented. It's just that they're exposed to more, and also they're caught earlier. I mean, I would imagine, I don't know this, and maybe you'd probably say this, I would imagine that you've been singing in the face since you were no height.
Since I was 4.
Yeah, you are singing. I didn't know that.
I've been singing a long, long time.
But you see, if you'd have been born somewhere else, maybe you wouldn't have started singing until about maybe 10 or 11 or 12.
Yeah, but I also think your family has a lot to do with it as well, because my grandfather and my grandmother, they weren't professional singers, but they were very interested in singing. And my grandmother won the Diana Durbin competition at a very young age. And
what was that?
Diana Durbin. She, you know Diana Durbin.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that was just like a singing competition. They held in Ireland, and she won that when she was 16. So it was a long time ago. But where I live in Derry, my grandparents live next door. And basically, I would have always been in and out, as a child, and there would have been Maria Lanza playing on the records, or Joseph Locke, and I suppose I was sort of bred in me, I suppose, and I just had a genuine love for them. So I think your family life has a big impact on what you do as well, and what you enjoy.
Do you live in Derry? I don't think you live in Derry all the time. You're all over the place.
I'm all over the place, but I have a house in Derry.
Do you live elsewhere?
I've just come back. I was in New York. I was caught in the hurricane in New York, so that was a bit. Yeah, it was. And then I was in Wales. I toured with the Fromia Voice Choir. So I'm going to try and get them in here for you, Gerry. There's 65 men, me and 65 men in New York. So I don't know who was the lucky one.
What kind of locks did you have on your door?
Well, actually, you should say that. I had 10 keys to my room because they all kept going missing. So I have a feeling there was something suspicious going on there.
Alan Simpson told me that he met a man who was in that choir, and he happened to mention your name. And apparently, you and him and some other people took a helicopter ride over the Statue of Liberty. Yeah. Have you any idea?
My mom nearly had a heart attack.
Exactly. That is so dangerous.
Yeah, I know, Gerry. I know. But I'm not usually like that. I'm usually quite sensible, but I just thought, I have to just do this. I have to just get on this helicopter and go.
Nobody should ever do that. I did that once, and I'll never forget it as long as I live. Never. And then every time you do it, about 3 or 4 weeks later, you hear about 2 people crashing into the Hudson River and never been seen again.
The week after, actually, that happened. Yeah. So I that's it. Done now, dusted. Can put it in my CV.
Now, you're going to do something which is quite unusual. You're going to sing to a backing track.
Yeah.
Because, you can't sit here with a guitar.
No.
So you could join backing track, but you're going to be singing live.
Yeah.
Now, tell me what you're going to sing for us.
Well, I've got such an array of music. I wasn't too sure what you wanted me to do, so I think I'll start today with seeing Christmas Eve tomorrow. I'll start with a lovely carol called In the Bleak Midwinter.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So you're going to stand up and sing on the wee thing. Okay, this is Margaret Keys, and sing it to a backing track. People won't believe us, that you're not singing live. Okay, off we go.
Stood hard as iron, what a a stable place sufficed. The Lord God Almighty, Jesus Christ. What can I give him, or as I am? If I were a shepherd, I would bring a lamb. If I were a wise man, I would do my part. Yet what can I give him? Give my heart. In the bleak midwinter, frosty wind made moan. Earth stood hard as iron, water like a stone. Snow had fallen, snow, snow, snow. In the bleak midwinter, long ago.
That's Margaret Keys. Margaret, that was just beautiful. That bring tears to your eyes. I can't think of anything that would be nicer on this day coming up before Christmas than to have you in singing that beautiful, beautiful music.
Oh, thank you for having me. It is a gorgeous carol. It's probably one of my favourite.
People won't believe that you're singing here live.
No,
they
I'm
they won't
singing
believe
live.
it. Because the last time you were here, they didn't believe it. They said, "Oh, you just played a record." I said, "No, I didn't." So what we're doing is we're playing backing tracks, and you're just standing up there and just opening your mouth, and away you go.
Away I go.
Now, you said that you wouldn't go down that operatic road, not just yet.
Not
Is
just
it something
yet,
that you maybe plan to do later?
I mean, you only really sort of begin to develop as a singer, classical singer, truly when you're 30. So I have a wee while to go yet.
How long do you have to
I'm
go?
not telling you that, Gerry. That's very cheeky.
No, I didn't realise that. I thought, well, of course, when you think about it, I mean, there's very few kind of people in opera like 22, 23.
Yeah.
It's almost the opposite of everything else, isn't it?
You have to give your voice time to develop, and it's a technique. It's certainly not an easy technique, but it's something you have to make look easy. And make look effortless.
Well,
but at the same
make it look
time,
easy.
but at the same time, there's a lot going on. Your diaphragm and your diction, and there's a lot going on there. So, and even singing in lots of different languages. I may do a different language here today. I'll see how I go.
You feel it? We've already had Polish. Listen, where were you trained? What kind of training did you undergo?
Well, I've always been singing. I began McCaffrey School of Music, and then I went to the Belfast School of Music just in my teenage years, and then I went to a lady called Irene Sanford from Belfast, and she's since passed away. She was the professor of the Royal Irish Academy in Dublin, and then from that the Royal Scottish Academy, and then from that New York. So
What did you do in New York?
Well, I was awarded the BBC Fame Academy Award.
That's right, of course.
So I was sent there, and I trained with the Opera New York programme and with some of the Broadway directors and producers and things.
How did that affect you? Did it go to your head?
No,
I don't
not
mean
at all.
it. No, what I mean is that was it kind of a heady thing? I mean, New York, and all
Well,
that.
I've just come back. I mean, New York, it is a great place, and there's great opportunities, but I am and then in March I went to LA.
Yeah.
I performed in lots of different theatres there. It was like a tour of Ireland's favourite stars.
Yeah.
So to even be on the bill in that was great, So I shared the stage with lots of different American, Irish artists. And then from that, I toured. Then I was asked to go with Alfie Boe. Have you ever heard of Alfie Boe?
No, I wouldn't know.
He's very well known within the classical.
I did see a CD, Alfie. It's called
Alfie.
Alfie.
That's him. Yeah.
His actual album is called Alfie.
Yes.
Because I remember looking at it, saying, "What is this?" I remember looking at it the other day. Yes,
That's
sorry,
him,
go
yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
Well, I did a few concerts with him in the National Symphony Orchestra. And then from that, the From Male Voice Choir, we went to New York, and that was a laugh. Me and 65 men.
Oh dear.
It was fabulous. No, I think they enjoyed it, and I certainly enjoyed it.
Are you a single person?
Gerry, you're a bit nosy today. Between my age and asking me if I'm single. Well, were you going to find me a date?
I can think of a number of people that would break down the door to go out with you.
Well, that's great. You send them my way.
But there is a warning here.
Oh, God.
Please warn people, says Michael from Derry, that Margaret Keys, if you listen, it was fantastic. He said he nearly crashed the car when he was listening. He got so wrapped up in the music, he nearly had a roundabout. Also, Margaret, you were on Sing Carols live last Monday.
I was, yeah.
On Radio Ulster from the Assembly buildings in Belfast with John Toll, and it's been repeated on Radio Ulster on Christmas Eve at 6 o'clock.
It is. That was a lovely programme too.
Who was all on that?
Why were you not on it?
Because they don't want me.
Oh,
you feel as if I bring a rough edge to it.
No, I did miss you.
I bring a rough edge to some of the things they do. Margaret, sing us another wee song, because I want you to sing another couple if you don't mind.
I would love to.
Whatever you like.
I think we'll go for something a wee bit more sort of classical. It's a song which I haven't actually recorded. This is my debut to do this today, so Gerry, you're very honoured. I've never actually done this before, so I could be taking a risk. But
if you get into trouble, I'll jump in.
It's called Nella Fantasia, and people will know it. It's from the film The Mission. Have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
And the composer is Ennio Morricone. So
that's right.
I'll try that. I'll give that a go and see how I get
Thank
on.
you. Okay, here we go.
Nella fantasia io vedo un mondo giusto, lì tutti vivono in pace non sta. Io sono d'anime che sono sempre libere. Come le nuvole che volano piano magneto in fondo nella fantasia io vedo un mondo chiaro, neanche notte meno scuro. Io sono d'anime che sono sempre libere, come le nuvole
That brought a tear to my eye. I swear, look.
Oh, thank you, Gerry.
That was just beautiful. I wish people could see you because, you know, you're not just standing there singing. You're just, as soon as you start singing, you're gone. You're out of there.
Yeah, you
and
have.
your hands come up and you just, it's a whole different thing. I mean,
Yeah.
That's what you do. I mean, you feel you probably can't help yourself doing that.
No, well, you know,
You're
once
very animated.
Well, you're telling a story, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
even though it's in Italian, you know, it's there are words there, and you have to be able to express what the song's about, and that's, you know, there's so many parts to singing, you know, and being able to sing in tune is one thing, but then to be able to tell the story that's probably one of the most major things in singing.
As part of your training, I mean, do the people who talk to you, do they encourage you to express yourself with your arms, your hands, and do they do that, or is that just something that you do?
I think it's something that comes naturally to me, but I mean, it certainly was always encouraged to be able to express the song and to be able to do it. It depends what kind of song it is.
Yeah.
I know if it's something like that, then yes. But if it's a more simple song, like in the Bleak Midwinter or something, it's
I can
very
see you.
straight.
I can see you going to the opera. Really, I can.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Right. Anyway, you've got an album. People will obviously want to.
I do,
know.
yeah.
Your album's called Legato.
Well, I actually have 3 albums.
Well, tell me all about that.
Yeah, well, I recorded the first one. It was Pure Classics, which is all Irish songs.
Really?
Yeah. Well, when I say Irish, not Irish language, there's maybe 1 or 2 Irish language, but most sort of Moors melodies and things.
Okay.
Then the other one is songs from the musicals, and I recorded that when I was sort of working within musicals, and then the next one was with Universal Records, which is called Legato, and hopefully this year I'm going to start recording the next one, and that song will be in it, Nella Fantasy.
Oh, Legato. Legato is good.
It's good.
How
album,
can people
yeah.
get? Do you have a website?
I have a website, margaretkeys.co.uk.
That's Keys.
Keys, yeah.
.com.
No, .co.uk.
.co.uk.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, that's Margaret Keys. I'll just write that down. .co.uk. Now, BBC Fame Academy. You well, tell me what happened there.
Well, I had entered the programme to play the role of Maria in The Sound of Music. Now, I didn't win the competition, but I was put through to the final stages of it.
Why do you think you didn't win? Because I mean, I can't imagine anybody saying, "Oh no, I don't think she's right." No, seriously, I can't imagine anybody saying, "I don't think she's right."
Oh dear, I wish now you'd have been judging it. Sure. We'll get you on the panel the next time.
Were you disappointed?
Oh, well, like everything. I mean, you know, people always say it's taken part, but if people are totally honest, you know, let's be honest.
You want to win.
You want to win. You know, you do. Right. I mean, I'm not overly competitive, but I like to do the best I can do. You know, but I suppose at the time I was a bit disappointed, but it all worked out in the end. You know, it's like everything, because my daddy would always say, you know, it wasn't meant to be, and sometimes you think, oh. You know,
what were they looking for? I mean, were they looking for a performer?
I think they were looking for somebody
person?
No, I think they were looking for a more quirky, something a bit different, something not like a Julie Andrews, somebody a bit different. Now, it's very sad, actually. The girl that actually won the competition, her voice has since gone.
That's right.
And it's very, very sad, you know.
They were probably looking for somebody that would be more show busy. I mean, you're not a shrinking violet, but you're not a gut on your face person. You're not a show busy person. I don't think you would be.
Well,
I mean, you're not a ham. Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean, I do what I do is a job, and it's you know, it doesn't make you any better than anybody else.
But you're not in your face. You're not. Hi there. You know, you're not like that. They would have probably looked at you, but you're probably a bit too serious for them.
Do you think
I mean,
so?
I mean that in the nicest possible sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? They probably wanted an Egypt, a bit of an Egypt. You know,
right. Someone
that would be kind of, you know, but you wouldn't be. You're no,
okay,
I'm not saying.
You know, I take what I do seriously, but it's certainly.
You do, yeah.
I suppose they just haven't. But then the thing is, it was voted by the public anyway. So, when it came down to it, so that's.
So it didn't do any harm, and obviously.
It certainly. I mean, I think they definitely saw potential there, so they gave me which was fantastic. I went to New York. Mm-hmm. They gave me an apartment in Manhattan, so I had that for a few months.
Never bad, no.
No, but you know, New York's like everywhere else. It's fabulous, but then you know when you're in there, it's just so big, and everybody's sort of always in a rush, and it's it's completely different from Ireland.
Oh, unbelievable.
You certainly get your eyes opened.
Did you like LA? Did you like that?
I loved LA.
Me
Absolutely
too.
loved LA.
I love it. A lot of people don't like it. They think it's cold
How
and
did you get
personal.
on New York, actually?
Oh, it was in New York.
I was
I'd rather not talk about it. I didn't manage to finish it. Let's put it that way. But my heart was in the right place.
Well, Gerry, these things, they're sent to try you.
My heart was willing, but my legs let me down. Well, Margaret, thank you very much for coming in. I can't think, as I said before, I can't think of anybody nicer to be in and coming to Christmas, and just beautiful voice.
You're welcome.
And your website is www.margaretkeys.co.uk.
Yeah.
If you're interested in getting some of Margaret's work, and happy Christmas to you.
And a very happy Christmas to you too.
And will you sing us another one before you go?
Just one more.
Yeah.
Well, either Oh Holy Night or White Christmas.
You can sing two if you like. No, sing.
Which would you like?
Whichever you like.
Come on, you choose, Gerry.
No. You're the one who has to sing it. No, sing the singer always knows which one they prefer to sing. I want you to sing what you want to sing.
Right. We'll do Oh Holy Night then.
Okay. All right.
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Saviour's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. How thrill of hope the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, or hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night, oh, holy night, oh, night divine. His law is love, and his gospel is peace. Change shall he bring, for the slave is our brother, and in his name all oppression shall cease. Sweet hymns of joy in grateful chorus raise thee. Let all within us praise his holy name. Fall on our knees, or hear the angel voices.
Hawley, and he's great. Thank you for the gentleman, Steve McDowell, is it, who sent me those Christmas unusual songs. Thank you very much indeed. And what about Margaret Keys? Oh, amazing. Margaret was on St. Carol's, of course, live last Monday on Radio Ulster from the Assembly Buildings in Belfast with John Toll, and it'll be repeated on Christmas Eve tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, so have a listen to that. Also, Gerry, I forgive you for all the garbage you've played all year because Margaret's voice is particularly good. From Isabel and Brambridge, thank you for your forgiveness. Gerry, that girl is astounding. Truly, she leaves Catherine Jenkins in her wake. Such a quality voice, and I can't believe what I'm hearing. You see, well, she was singing live. A lot of people don't believe that. Another great personality from good old Northern Ireland. Absolutely wonderful. The star is born. What's in the water over the Glen Shane Pass? Margaret, the some singer teller Gerry Temple said hello. The Margaret Keys is a babe, it says here. Most beautiful voice, I wish there were more like her. Well, there aren't. That's from Flo Wilson in Bangor. And lots more like that. Margaret is fabulous. She really calmed the Christmas rush. You see, whenever you hear something quality like that, it stops you running out and buying all the stuff you don't want. Please warn us. I read that before. Happy birthday to Monica Kelly, who lives in Armagh, from her 4 sisters. Brian and Monica celebrate their 40th wedding anniversary. Let me just check, see if that's right. The 40th anniversary on the 28th of December. That's Brian and Monica. Congratulations. Gerry, I am 22. I'm one of your younger listeners. I love the show. Merry Christmas. Looking forward to more crack. Happy Christmas, Gerry and team from the Cuthbertson family in Omagh. Thank you for all that. Have you heard, says Sabrina, of the Civil Wars? Yes, I think I did. Oh no, it's a band. Any chance you could bring something of theirs for a newsreader in a newsroom with very little news? Gerry, I'm looking for a pot-bellied pig for a Christmas present. Well, I wouldn't bother if I was you. It may be a pig too far.
Hey, Andrew, you ready over there, huh?
I'm all set, Wayne.
Hey, Richard, you good, huh?
I'm ready, Wayne. Let's do it. Come on.
Hey, David, you're good, huh?
I'm feeling good.
Well, Mike?
Let's do
all
it.
Right, here we go. I think everything's going to work out just fine. I can see it. I can see it ahead. All right. Here we go. Here we go. I know that everything changes. Yeah, it's strange how time marches on. Well, maybe there'll be sometime in the future. Tell me I'm not wrong. Tell me I'm not wrong. Oh, if I could stop time, it would be a frozen moment just around Christmas. And there is sympathy for the suffering, and there is sympathy for those who are suffering. And the world embraces peace and love and mercy instead of power and fear. And as sure as I'm standing here, I swear it really does appear that a change comes over us. Yeah, some kind of change comes over us. And it's glimpsed for one shining moment. And this change, well, it feels like a change that's real, but then it passes along with the season, and and then we just go back to the way we were. Yeah, we go back to the way we were and say it isn't so. Tell me I'm not just a dreamer. Tell me, 'cause I'm talking with a friend and he knows how it ends. He says it's easier. He says that that's just the way we are, that it's human nature and that's just the way we are. Say it isn't so. Say it isn't so.
Oh, all the money that I had, I've spent it in good company, and all the harm that I've done, alas, it was to none but me. And all I've done for want of wit to memory now I can't recall. So fell to me the parting glass. Good night and joy be with you all.
That's nearly all we've time for today. Thank you to Margaret Keys for such a wonderful piece of singing, which I know by all the messages that you really, really enjoy. And all I can say is have a very happy Christmas, and I'll be back on Boxing Day, but then again, I won't be. But I will be, if you know what I mean. Happy Christmas.
That I've had, they would wish me one more day to stay. But since it falls onto
Happy Christmas, Gerry. This is Talkback with Wendy Austin. On the programme today...